to you about procrastination because very often in the works of the creative, I experience it all the time, frequently, constantly. I'm procrastinating right now, doing the work that's over on that computer right now, and because instead I'm talking to you, because that's less procrastination and more I'm just trying to set boundaries and make priorities for the things I want to do as opposed to the things I have to do. And there's a, what is it? It's not Parkinson's law. It's somebody had a law that said the task expands to the time allotted for it. So if you cut the time, the task takes less time. So, you prioritize the things you want to do. I make videos, but that's not really what this is about. What I want to talk to you today about is the thing that has helped me more than anything else with procrastination. Is something I learned from the book Atomic Habits by James Clear, which is an amazing book if you haven't read it, and you want to improve your situation in life. Check that out. I'll leave a link in the comments with the affiliate, so if you buy it, I get 10 cents. I don't know how that works with Amazon, but I get money, which is awesome because I want to cash in. I want to cash in on your self-improvement. Let's go. Anyway, where was I going with this? Oh yeah, so the thing that I've learned from James Clear, and I don't know if this was from James Clear necessarily, but I think Austin Kleon talks about a lot about it in his books too, which are also, if you do creative stuff, those books were amazing. You gotta check them out. Steal Like an Artist, Show Your Work, Keep Going, 3 great books. But the idea is to have a station, your workstation ready to go. So like when I want to come sit down, make a video, I've got my blue lights, they're back there. They sit on the desk over there. I've got this light over here, my key light. That's always here. It's charged, it's ready to go. I've got my camera on a tripod. I've got my mic mounted to the desk, and everything is plugged in. All I have to do is sit down, flip a couple switches, and push the record button. And I think if I had to drag the camera out of the case every time I wanted to make something, I would make like 1/10 as many things as I've made. And at this point I've probably made like 1,000 YouTube videos or something insane like that, because just sheer numbers of I think it's a numbers game personally, but I also enjoy it. It's fun, but just having the station for it, it helps so much. I think for most people that procrastinate, the hardest part is just getting started, is just getting over that mental block. And I think once you're working, the brain kind of shuts up. That part of your brain that tells you you're not good enough and you can't do it, and with the idea you have, this sucks and is stupid, that kind of just falls away. Once you get started, once your hands are busy, once you're in motion, you don't really have time to think about, that you don't have time for your brain to butt in and be like, this sucks, you can't do this. I mean, sometimes that still happens. Sometimes, like right now, I'm like, is this any good? But like, whatever, I'm doing it, I'm making it, and if it sucks, I can always delete it, And I think that's the other thing that a lot of people need to understand is like, you can hit the reset button at any time on a project if it's not going well. Well, not always, but for the most part, you can just try stuff, fail. If it doesn't work, why didn't it work? And then go work at it, and fix those problems. But like, you can't steer a parked car, and you can't, it's easier to fix something that exists than to create it from scratch. And so if you think to yourself like, I just need to get it out, it just needs to exist, and from there I can kind of shape it, and I can twist it, and I can mold it into something good. No good film you've ever seen is a first draft. No good book you've ever read was first. No song, they didn't just sit down and start playing and hit record. Like, that's not how any of that works. Like, it takes time and iterations and revisions. And so it all starts with obviously getting started. So the advice that I think is super valuable is you need to figure out what are the barriers to you just starting. And for a lot of people, they make up these faux barriers that aren't, they're not really something that prevents you from doing stuff. Like if you want to make a YouTube channel and you have a cell phone, you have all the technology you need. You have more technology than Stanley Kubrick did in this little phone. You could shoot with window light and it'll be fine. Just get started. I think for me, having this separate desk that's got the mic mounted, ready to go. It's got the tripod for the camera. It's got the lights. Where I just flip switches, hit start, good to go. I think if I didn't, I've said that if I didn't have this, I probably wouldn't have made 20% of the videos I've made. I would have made a couple hundred maybe. But like those periods when I get doing it daily and I'm I have this ready to go and I have a list of ideas. I keep just a Google keep, just little notes, like little sentences to spur me off. And granted, I have done a lot of whisper rambling, so feel like I'm adept to just being able to talk about anything for any length of time, because I can. Well, maybe not any length of time, but for about 20 minutes, I could talk about pretty much anything. And that's a skill that I've developed, and it's something I've gotten better at. If you look at my first videos where like I talk, I'm probably really awkward and stiff on camera, and maybe even now I'm not that amazing. I'm no Mr. Beast on the camera, okay? But I try to stay authentic because I think that's really big and important. But more than anything, it's just about sitting down, doing the reps, and removing barriers. And so in James Clear's book, Atomic Habits, he talks about a couple things. The first is that you need to make the good habit seem easy. So, if you want to play guitar more often, the guitar should not be in a case. The guitar should be out. It should be on display. It should be plugged in. All you have to do is flip the switch on the amp, sit down, and bang out. So that's really important. That's big. The other thing, and this is, I think maybe even more important, is just telling your brain you're only going to do it for a couple minutes. And then I think if you can chunk out that there's no fear, you have your system ready. I didn't think about any of this before. I just was like, talk about procrastination. That was the prompt. And so we're just kind of winging it here. But so like, I think the three big pillars, and this isn't necessarily James Clear, but this is kind of just the conglomerate of everything I've learned, is you need to have a station, have your stuff ready to go, so you're ready to do it. You need to have the knowledge that you're just playing around, you're just experimenting, you're just having fun, and if it sucks, you can delete it. No one ever has to see it. And the third most important thing is just to chunk it down into bits and say, I'm only going to play my guitar for 5 minutes. I'm going to play one song. And it's like, who doesn't have time for that? That's like the same amount of time it takes to take out the trash. So let's just do that part of things, So I guess there you have it. There's a 10-minute ramble for what really was a 30-second video. But isn't that all of YouTube these days anymore? I feel like anytime I get on YouTube and I'm like, oh, that sounds interesting, and I click on it, it's like an 8-minute video with it could have been a YouTube short. And you're like, well, would I have remembered it as well if it was a YouTube short? You probably would remember this one better if it was a YouTube short, but it's not. Deal with it. Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's all I've got on that topic. Also, my throat's really dry for some reason. I think I'm dehydrated. I got creamy root beer, but it's not helping. It's starting to get that time of year where I get allergies and I dry out and everything just is gunky and it's just like, ugh. So, but we're here. We're making videos. I'm gonna have to go. I might have to take some time and like pre-think about the videos before I record the next one, because this one, this one was a little harder. I was like, do I want to do that? I think I hit start and stop like 3 times. But that just goes to show you that, like, if you don't like how it's going, hit the eject button and start over. So crumple up the paper, throw it away, get up a new piece of paper. So anyway, I hope you find some value in that, and I hope you're doing well. And if not, I hope that turns around for you real soon. And I'll see you next time. Have a good one.